Yo, yo, it's ODB from OLP. This is issue 155, Mini Truckin Magazine, November 2004. We're nearing the end of another year in terms of the publication. This is Brent Z's, I can't pronounce his last name right, Toyota pickup, one of the baddest trucks built, in my opinion. Of course, it's green, got the Phantom grille, super hot model, Tabitha Taylor. This truck is now owned by Tom Jenkins, who I think first appeared on OLP episode 278. It's one of two rear engine trucks on the cover, if I remember correctly. Of course, it's titled, you'll see, Far From Luzen. Now, this is Wes Allison's 53rd credited Mini Truckin Magazine cover. It's the 5th of 6 total Subculture trucks on the cover. Salute to Subculture. The last, technically, is Time Machine, as it graces again in about 40 issues or so. This is the first of 2 cover trucks with the ADR wheels. It's the 48th cover with a Toyota on it. Bill Hancock's Blazer, which he did build for Thomas, rest in peace, that appeared on the cover of issue 72, December 97. It appears here again. Devious Customs does a tech article on it. We could take a look at the cover. Super, I would say, super hot. Probably a top 5 model for me. Far From Luzen, obviously, again, just an epic truck. You see the shows there. And truly one of a kind. If Tom had not purchased this truck, I'm not sure that a lot of us would have had a chance to ever see it. And I say that because if you remember, this truck I don't think went to a lot of shows. Then it was at the prison for Dropped Out, I think it was, years ago. And or Dropped and Destroyed, I think it was. And that was the only time I really saw it in show coverage. But Tom purchased it, and I got a chance to see it in person just a few years ago here locally, which was kind of cool. Not that far from my house. Pretty crazy. MIC, you have the inside cover here. We'll take a look. Of course, there is a wardrobe change, and you can see here the pink. You get the pink as well here. They did a photo. They used it there. Super hot. Tabitha Taylor. Great photo. Again, Wes Allison, the legend. We can see here plenty of features. Toyota, Mazda pickup, S10, and a Ranger. That mix that I talk about is so important from a publication standpoint. They want to have a good mix of vehicles, right? Because they want anybody to pick up this publication and go, you know what? There's a Ranger in there. I'm a Ranger fan. Or whatever. Insert the OEM that you like, right? Blurring the Lines. This is Scrubeline by Lance. He talks about this cover with maybe a disgruntled individual that maybe wasn't super happy that that wasn't, quote, a mini truck, but he kind of breaks down his opinion on, you know, what a mini truck is. You have the Forerunner. This is a KEG, Kutting Edge Graphix rendering. And then, of course, you have Mike Alexander's BD on 22s, so body dropped on 22s. This was back at the infancy, I think, of the project. I saw it at Rezo, if I remember correctly, the year I went for the Severed 10th, and Fast Eddy did some of the sickest hot rod renderings. You can see it's kind of, I don't want to go too crazy, but you can see there, that's his little logo. And was a pretty ambitious project, even for its day. Pretty cool stuff, tilt bed, and lots going on there. But pretty cool rendering. I used to go on Fast Eddy's website all the time and check out his awesome work that he did. I don't think his site's up anymore. Hot Rod Taco. This is Mark Lindsay's 01 Toyota Tacoma S-Runner. Lubbock, Texas. Super clean. Flossed daily. I like that. You can see the inside of the bed. Always really definitely digging, you know, that factory look. Effin' Taco on the tag. These were the perfect trucks to kind of name. Again, Taco. There's so many different names and builds out there. It's pretty cool to see them all. You got the Heatwave family. This was, I think, an extension of it. The Corpus Christi Heatwave. October 2004. Early October. which was, what, 19 years ago this week almost. Summer Madness Uprising, good show coverage here, good mix, nice layout of the photos. Mini truckers, though. I never got into the food stuff like that. I just can't. Can't do it. Can't watch it. Can't do it. And we see a severed shirt here. Under construction. You got the saws all going down. Looks like Nick at Night's Nissan. Got a chance to see that thing. That he drives that truck. It's a tandem axle. He drives it all over the country. I saw it Relaxing in the Northwest one year. Got a chance. You may recall we did some show coverage audio for that show, and Nick did a small segment with him. Drove that thing all the way from SoCal that year to Oregon, and then he's driven it all the way to Camp and Drag. So bottoms up. Shout out to Jeff at Devious Customs. I've stayed at his place about a year ago, going out to California for a Lincoln deal. And I've known Jeff a long time. And shout out to Jeff. You can see there what they did is they took in Bill/Thomas Hancock's Blazer, again, cover truck issue 72. And they kind of refreshed it, four-link and kind of bringing it up to snuff in terms of bags, compressors, things like that. You can see that famous teeny tiny tank it had. I always dug that, very hot rodish in that feature. But don't spend a lot of time on the tech articles, but if it's something like this, which was a real famous truck, you know, to a certain extent, December 97, and rest in peace again, Thomas Hancock, Bill's son. You know, we've posted about that in the past. And when we had Bill on, one of our favorite episodes, or most downloaded and streamed, he talked about the legacy of his son. Draggin Thru, so Mike Alexander, trip to the Northwest. He's got the Road Reflector, Salem, Oregon, 62704. That may have been drops. I think it was Drop Zone he went to, which we started the hashtag after people kept saying it when I was up at Relaxin Northwest, which was hashtag not Drop Zone. I was like, we're not dissing anyone, right? They're like, no, we're just using that. Everyone knows it's cool. I was like, all right. Nathan Bagby, 89 Mazda B2200, Fenton, Missouri. Reppin' Severed, super clean. Really dig the two-tone paint. And Suicide Doze. Every time I hear that, I think of Outcast. Coming up, slamming like Cadillac doors. Doze. Appreciate you guys watching all the way through. Far From Luzen, so worldwide inspiration. The worldwide here ties into Subculture world, and then they would always spell it WYD. Remember, this is in 4K. You can always pause and bump this up. You know, typically your YouTube is going to have a setting of optimized, so you can always bump this up. Just bask in that for a second. So, front three-quarter shot, looking awesome. Love the pink contrast. You got the wax in the windows. You know what I mean? You can see here, Brent, that's how he spells his last name, Zuehlke. I may have spelled that wrong earlier. But 85 Toyota Standard Cab, Mesa, Arizona, Subculture Worldwide. And really, truly, to me, one of the baddest built. I love how they did this as well. Again, you continue to see the art department stepping up. You've got that just round little insert photo with the wraparound text. And then you've got the name Far From Luzen, but we can see some of the images in here. Just a real nice layout. If you like what we're doing here, leave a comment. Definitely a thumbs up, if nothing else. We can see here the tilt bed. Lots of work in this. Minis on the tag. Probably the only time we really saw the tag. I'm sure they took this out to a certain extent back then. I know, if I remember correctly, reading the feature, yeah, we could actually see it right here. VW-powered sandrail engine. But these, the father-son, I think it was, they were into VWs. And one of the craziest things, even now, I posted some video from our friend at Sick Mini Trucks and Sick Trucks when this thing was at Turkey Drag a year ago, and it was hitting 3-wheel. And people that don't know this truck, you know, maybe not hardcore mini truckers, a couple of them commented, well, where's the engine? They probably thought that it was some sort of electric-driven vehicle. Little did they know, 19 years ago it was on the cover. Super clean, again, control arms, you know, everything polished and or chromed. Crazy frame, everything tube. I mean, just stuff that you just really didn't see. And I know Tom has done a great job, especially at Mini Nats, bringing this thing out. But if you don't know, these graphics go on the firewall under the cab. Underneath it is all smooth. You got the graphics that run down the back of the cab. Of course, the top of the bed. You see the bed. Got the opening there. Just a crazy, crazy build. You talk about a feature write-up. I think the model combined with the epic build, Subculture, just an amazing truck. And then you can see right here that famous Subculture logo. Shout out to Lance and everyone in the club. Truly, you're never going to change my opinion on this. Definitely one of the baddest built. Even if we didn't see it, you know, a lot of us didn't get a chance to see it. That's fine to me. That doesn't take away at all its legacy. And again, thanks to Tom for continuing to show it. 11th Annual Slammin and Jammin. Awesome truck, or awesome show. Got a chance to see this Mazda long bed, if I remember correctly, at ITB. This looks like Farva's S10 that we saw recently featured. He had all the Memphis audio. Super clean. If you like what we're doing, as I mentioned, please leave a comment. Even if it's just an emoji thumbs up, it helps the page. We continue to kind of grow a little bit each month, and I got to get back into doing more of these videos. Here is Kenneth Subia, 87 Toyota Tacoma, and then you have Monica, a woman, Blackmer, with the Nissan. We're going to see a pretty cool era, you know, I think through the 2000s. We're making our way about almost to that 2005 year. But definitely appreciate you guys rocking with us. Go back and check them out. All of these are in playlists that are curated for each year. Early years are kind of maybe 2 years together because they were bi-monthly or quarterly. Rusty Thomas, 84 S10 from Oklahoma. Reppin' relaxed atmosphere, super clean truck, Lexian rear window. That steering wheel, though, super clean. All right, Retro Flava. So again, the magazine did play a huge part in driving styles. And remember, I talked about a lot of painted dashes. Well, around this era, I'm not going to say this was the first truck, don't get me wrong, but, you know, a lot of people, including myself, we, you know, these different guys would build, and ladies would put the retro dashes in. So, you know, doing something like this, putting the newer style gauges, auto meters, Dolphin, you know, Dakota Digital, and you'd see how clean it would come out. You know, you'd have that old school look. A lot of times they're shortened X amount of inches. And you had that skeleton that would end up being painted. And that was a cool thing. Back when dashes were metal, if you really look into it, you know, a lot of that was safety and stuff and accidents and everything. A lot of that changed to like a dash pad, so to speak, quote unquote. We still see in Waza. That's where I would probably say, if I were to count that photo, even though there it's been like transposed or whatever that word is, how you pronounce the word, that photo has probably runs the most in the publication, which was taken here in Tampa, Florida, back in, I don't know, 99, 2000, something like that. You can see here more show coverage. Dump It and Drag, Tuck Nuts and UTZ. This was Jeremy Carr's 88 Ford Ranger Super Cab, not extended cab, Mike. We got a lot more shows lined up for OLP for the end of this year, so depending on what year you're watching this, if you're a day one or maybe in 10 years down the road, check out OLP via any podcast app. The FBI ad for Fender Bender Incorporated. And one of our favorite sections that Lance drove, basically, Drag It during that era. And I think that is Lance on a Segway. Well, on the pavement. You know what I mean. And then again, advertising is a key to any magazine. What do you guys think? One of the baddest built? One of the greatest models on the cover of this publication, issue 155, November 2004, 19 years ago almost. Great cover. Tip of the cap to Lance, who will be getting in the Mini Truck Hall of Fame. Very deserving of that. If he happens to see this, congrats. I've been rooting for you for a long time. And you did a lot for the publication, including lining up amazing features like this. Of course, Wes shot it, but that doesn't take anything away from Lance orchestrating some greatness. That model, though. Stay on the rise, everyone. Subscribe. We are cheer. Peace.